Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Bleav.
For fans wanting more than just the score, Warhawk Report dives deeper into ULM athletics with expert analysis, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and real-time updates. Whether you are a die-hard fan or just curious about the Warhawks, we've got you covered. Subscribe today at warhawkreport.com. Smart coverage, real insights, all Warhawks. warhawkreport.com.
Doesn't matter if you're an Indian or if you're a Warhawk.
The ULM mention is the greatest. You'd hope for the best as a ULM fan, but
this is the Bleav in the Warhawks podcast with hosts Dusty Thibodeaux and Chase Regian.
Chase, you always have such great insight.
Tibbs is going to bleep it all.
What are these guys always talking about?
We talk a lot about food on this podcast, and I'm going to continue to do so.
Really, really appreciative of the people and the community and the way that they've backed us up.
Nailed the introduction, by the way. Awesome.
Thanks,
I love
Fish.
it.
Chase, we had a great time in one of our earlier episodes where we got to talk with the old ball coach.
Mm-hmm.
And even though he said that he wasn't a fan of former offensive linemen, he didn't like the way that you would go up to him at halftime and post game to ask him just asinine questions. He was willing to come back.
Yeah. Yes, he is. Announcing Coach Vincent. Coach, thanks so much for coming back and spending some time with us this afternoon. We're excited to hear about spring ball, about this season, about everything going on in your world. We know you've been working hard. We hear about your upgrades. We hear about your recruiting classes. Man, you're just getting to work, aren't you? Huh?
Every day, man. Every day we're just trying to, I know it's a cliche, but, attacking every single day and just getting as much done as you can and moving forward and ahead as much as you can. And that's kind of our mindset and mentality. And I think that we're seeing a lot of change, and you could feel it in the spring and how you're seeing it. And that's where, when you can see it is when growth can really, instead of taking small strides, you can have the opportunity to take some big strides. And that's what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to do. And this team has a good spirit, has good chemistry, has a good mindset. It's still we got a long way to go, but I like where we're heading, where we're at. And, year two, I told the team and the coaches today, I said, go to the first Tuesday of last summer and go to the first Tuesday of this summer. I said, just the growth and the difference in every aspect of the program, so now where do we go from here? Are we just satisfied with a little growth, or are we sitting here going, we're going to just try to dominate each day?
Love that.
Coach, you mentioned, year one, the big differences there. Was there anything in year one that really surprised you that you thought was maybe going to be a little bit easier, or something that turned out to be a little bit more difficult than what you originally thought it was going to be?
I think that, every situation is different. The situation at, 17 or 17 and a half months ago was just how, just everything was, the bottom. I'm talking about nutrition, none. I'm talking about equipment, below baseline, speed equipment, below or none, rehab, treatment, preventative equipment, none. Golly, you could just go on, and I'm not trying to be negative because I am not negative. We just had to build it from the bottom. There's the bottom line. We had to build it from the bottom, and we had to not accept, average or even below average, daily in anything we do. And I mean that in anything we do, in nutrition, in the weight room, in meetings, in our speed, change of direction, whatever we're doing, it's got to be at a championship effort and a championship level of what we do, or how can we expect change? It is so, we sell out every day. Our kids are bought in, man. The thing that makes me excited is this team has a purpose. we really have a purpose, and that's how we recruited it. We're honest. We're upfront. Um, these guys talk about, hey, making history. You know, helping build and get this university and this town together as one, and it's pretty it's purposeful, and I think it's powerful.
I love that you're taking that on, right? Building your own house. I love that idea. It was something I looked for when I went to college. But we hear you talk a lot about, last year was phase 1 and moving into phase 2. As you moved into spring ball, what did phase 2 look like for you? Was it, really focusing on player development, coach development? What kind of was your plan to attack spring ball?
The plan was to establish just, to me, I'm old school. I want toughness. I want us to be tough. I want us to be gritty. I want us to be disciplined to the nth degree. I want us to care and be passionate about what our purpose is daily, and we understand why. I wanted us to be able to thrive in failure, so I made things difficult and I tried to change things up because we've got experience coming back. We've got 7 guys, 7 starters on defense. We've got, I think, 8 on offense. We've got experience. We've added really good recruiting class mid-year and here at the end of the right kids. So it's everything. It's everything it takes to win a championship daily. There wasn't just one specific deal. I wanted to tighten up and, every aspect of the program, but also uplift it. And I think we've done that. And I wanted us to practice with an edge, but protect each other, because rosters in today's college football are different. And we've got to protect our roster. So we've adapted some things. And I think it's been beneficial to us. And our guys have excelled at it. And when you can do it at a high level against each other and you're on that line, and you understand the effort and the intensity and focus and power and speed that it takes, it's you've got to have two sides willing to do that. And as always, it's always going to cross the line. Usually, an O lineman and a D lineman, as usual. But Dusty, you know what I'm saying?
O-lineman.
So I know, right? No, I'm kidding. But we finished spring. We started it. We finished it. I think we had great progress. It's it's just being truthful. It's probably one of the best off seasons, if not the best I've been a part of that I can remember. And I've got 9 guys with me that were with me since, really, a lot of them since 14, 15, and it's been, with who we are, where we're at, and the phase we're at. I think we're right. We're if you could say, hey, could you be where you're at 12 months ago? I'd say, take it. Let's ride. Let's go. We lost 1 guy after the spring, and we had about 14 guys that were attacked, to leave. But, we've got a good group, man. These guys care about each other, and they care about the mission.
Coach, you talk about protecting the roster, and I saw the pictures over spring break where you didn't want guys out of your sight. So there was a lot of grilling, a lot of pool time. My bigger question to you, though, it seemed like the only 2 people on the grill were you and Ernest Hill. So who's the better cook there, and what was on that grill?
See, this is a conversation that's almost weekly. So, so Coach Hill and I, we go way back. And let me tell you something, he can cook. He is it's, you name it, he can do it. But I think I can hold the rope too. So we just have fun with it and go back and forth. But he's as good as anybody I've seen.
What's your
I don't know, Tibbs. That's 2 skinny guys cooking, Coach, you got to get some meat in there. Yeah,
you talking about Coach Hill?
Yeah.
Man, I've been on his butt. I think he's lost 40. I've been on his butt. He's been walking and getting after it. He almost went down to a knee in the weight room the other day. I said, look, man, you can't be doing all this. I said, hey, man, you can't be doing all this in the weight room, because he started getting tired. His old ass couldn't handle the weight room.
Hey, we'll get him on for a rebuttal. Don't worry, Coach.
We'll cut the audio. we'll play it for him, and he'll be like, "Oh hell no, that's not what happened."
Oh, that's exactly what he would say. No, but he does a good job, man. We do a little deal Monday nights. From 5 to 7, we've got 4 different houses, with different part staffs and different positions, one on offense, defense, and it just rotates each week, man. And it's these kids are they're that care about each other, and kids that they believe in what we're here for.
Yeah, I saw you and your wife hosted or were part of hosting the athletes and coaches stuff. I love that so much. What are some things that you do? Spring's a good time. You talked about earlier, like to develop a team, a culture, things like that. What are some other things that you look to do as a head coach to kind of create that camaraderie and create kind of that experience of enjoying your teammates, of loving your teammates and that kind of stuff, besides making it hard? You had said, I thought you were talking about how you were punishing Coach Hill, but when you were talking about, making it hard on him in the spring, I had some PTSD flare up of those 5 a.m. workouts, Coach. I love the game of football, but I do not miss those things. And that's why you're a head coach. That's why I'm sitting in my office chair right now.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, man, it's all who you want to be. If you want to be tough and you want to be disciplined, then you got to have tough things daily, and you got to create discipline daily, demand it in different areas of what they have to go through daily. And then you develop it and you work hard on it and you believe in it. And these guys have just, we get up Saturday and I'm like, they have no idea. Coaches don't, but we've got it set up. We get up Saturday, I guess the second scrimmage, and said, "Hey, load the buses. We're going to Sterlington. We got an away game, and for our we only have 2 scrimmages because we got 7 away games. We got to be able to handle change. There's going to be a lot of things that happen during those 7 away games that we can't control. So what?"
So you took a bus and took them to Sterlington and said,
we did. And
that's crazy. That's cool.
See, and here's the deal. I can give Coach Hale a hard time all offseason because we rushed for 334 yards that day, and the defense wasn't ready. That was the one day that the offense smacked the defense was the day they had a change up. So I've been giving him a hard time. I said, "Yeah, man, that's 334. Oh, that's one day. Now 334 got beat."
Saturday's usually one days too.
That's right. So just being competitive. No, I'm excited about our defense, man. I'm really excited about our defense.
As much as you talk about the change, some things stay the same, some things change as always. You get to keep your AD after we thought we were going to lose you last year. We get to keep the AD this year. But how exciting is it for Dr. Carrie Castile coming in and her great words of, I, meaning she as the president, want to win a championship, and we got the right people in place?
Let me tell you something. I wake up every day with a smile. President Castile, I think is the perfect fit. It's exactly what we were needing. We need energy. We need passion. We need a fighter. She's a fighter, and she's competitive, but she's also, she's about what's right and what's wrong. So I think we've got a great leader, a passionate leader, a leader at this moment in time, because I really feel and I feel it. You can feel it. The change is amongst us. We're in it, and if we can, as a Warhawk, just family, just base, Northeast Louisiana base, if we can all come together at this time, I mean, this is it. And if you can't see it, then you were never, you just didn't look. And we can come together at this time and really get this town and this community in Northeast Louisiana to really, we can kick it off now. We can set it off starting, this fall.
I know you've been at other universities and you've dealt with other presidents. How important, I think some people can't draw the connection between the president to the AD and then the AD, to yourself and in your position, others. How important is it to have a president that is outwardly spoken about support for athletics and what they want to do for the program, for the football, but other programs as well? I
think it's the difference between winning and losing. I think it's that simple. because if you have alignment and you're driven from the top to be competitive and to win, in the athletic side, in hell, in everything, in the pharmacy school, in the educational school, in, PT, everything, business. You win in everything, and you try to be the best in everything and do it right. It's the only way, in my opinion. It's just too competitive. It's too tough. Um, Too many things in this situation in college football today are just, it's different. So you've got to be able to adapt immediately and think outside the box to still have the opportunities to win a championship.
Last year, it was definitely the story of prove them wrong. We're 134. We knew automatically Akron can't go to a bowl game, so they might as well be 134. Are you bumping it up to 133 this year?
You know what? I just think everything's different now. It's all different. That's where we were last year. We're in a different place. We're in a different place in my mind, and we don't. At the end of the day, this is kind of who we are, and where I see it is, it doesn't matter. None of that matters. So what? Just line up, tee it up. Let's bring our best, and let's see what happens. And our guys have a purpose. We want to win the first, as a team. We want to win the first bowl game in school history and bring this program and university back to a bowl game and do that consistently. But we want to win the West, man. Let's win the West, so we stop talking about a bowl game in February, because the players, they're like, Coach, no, championship. And we break it down on champs every day. And so, hey, at the end of the day, our best every day, dominate every single day, good or bad, whatever it is, cold, rain, whatever. And let's see how far we can go.
Coach, you keep mentioning bowl games. Your one bowl game was the international game there for the Bahamas Bowl. It's not going to be in the Bahamas this year. For whatever reason, the stadium wasn't available. But how much of a logistic nightmare was that, trying to get your 85 guys, your staff, and everything else there?
Yeah, it was probably 120 players and staff, and just the passports, getting the passports, and all the travel. And so, you know what? You just got to have great organization. I think that being a part of so many bowls in the past, and just going through the different situations in different places, it really helped. But you're just in a different country. The main thing is getting the passport so you can get your team over there. And then once you get there, just being able to handle. Because, look, you want them to have fun, and we did. We had a Bahama Day. Day one was Bahama Day. Enjoy. We just got there. Hey, enjoy. And we started with meetings and practice, and it was awesome. It was a great bowl game. My favorite, obviously, overall. Been in some good ones.
I think Mods would be even more bald if that were the case in ULM, because I could just picture him running in circles, literally.
Let me tell you something.
What I forget?
You got to have printers. Hey, printers, laminators, projectors. You got to bring it all. That was the one thing, was the meeting space. And then, you'd get on a bus and you'd travel 20 minutes to a practice of about 80 yards of a field. It was good enough. And then show up and play in the ball. It was beautiful. It was awesome. That was a great bowl game.
I really thought you were going to complain about the Bahamas, and then I was going to get mad because doesn't that, and I am mad now that they can't play it there, because that'd be a cool one to go to. But it makes me think of summer, Coach, and what does this summer look like for you and the team? What's the plan to attack it? What do the workouts look like? All that kind of stuff as we head into that.
We're grinders. So I want it tough. I want it hard. I want it early. Mondays early. We'll get in there and we'll go speed, and we'll go the weight room. And then we'll have, obviously breakfast and lunch, and then they've got class in the afternoon. Tuesday, same thing. We're gonna really just go Tuesday, just speed, really speed, and some OTA. Then you're going Wednesdays, just lift. We're just lifting and really academic meetings. And Thursday, you've got we're early in the morning, speed, weigh-ins, 5:45. then Friday's our House of Pain team meeting 5:45, and we make it brutal, and it's tough, and you got to empty something to you to want to finish it, and our kids have really rallied around that.
Ooh,
You know, the way we
Coach.
look at it, we got 5 home games. Hey, the only way
Yeah.
to bring that 6th one home is to win the West. So those 5, let's because it means something. You come in and into Monroe, it means something for us to represent our people and to represent our town and university and beat you is a nice way to pay, to do it.
Absolutely. And you have them all summer, right? You get them both months, and then you start fall camp. Is that how that rolls for you and your
It
team?
is. It is. We'll roll 4 straight weeks of June. We'll give them the 4th of July week off. Then we'll go 3. And then I'll give them 4 days off. And I'll give them 4 days off before fall camp because we just want fresh legs and we want them to come in. You've got 4 days and then here we go.
Love
It's
it.
about
Coach.
enough. You don't need to let them go long, man. Hey, you don't need them 2 weeks off hanging out in Cancun and daggum Miami and no telling where else.
I love it. I love it.
Let them get their passport now. That way, when you're in that bowl, you already got that check mark.
I would love to go to that bowl game. I can tell you that.
My vote,
Our kids
honestly, I saw one of the proposed places that they potentially could move it to was the Kibbe Dome, and I was like, sold. Send me there.
Instead of the Bahamas.
Instead of the Bahamas.
That's insane to say.
You don't like playing football in an old airport hangar that has the goalpost bolted to the side of the wall?
That doesn't have a visiting team locker room? No, it wasn't my favorite. Yeah.
They didn't have a visiting locker room, really?
No, you have to split into 2 different locker rooms. You have to get taped like basically on the field. It's an awful place to play. I mean, it's a cool stadium to play like on the field, but awful place to talk about logistical nightmares. It's hard.
Mm. Good times.
Wow. But I'm excited, man. I really am. I think this team is built and believes in the right things and own the right thing. I'm excited for just to let's get better. Just if we can continue to grow. So let's see where we're at. And hey, let's play. Let's play.
Coach, we can't thank you enough as always. Always great insight. Always great talking to you. Looking forward to being back on the Bayou and catching up with you there in person. Maybe we can get Coach Hill and you to do a little cook-off. Me and Chase will come over, see who has some better ribs, a better steak, or whatever else.
Well, as long as you both come over and you're honest, I'll have everything except for the ribs. He'll get me on the ribs, but everything else will be on my side. So we'll see. We'll do that.
Coach,
let me know.
At me. Me and food is honest. All right, I don't have a choice.
I'm telling you, it's good. That's all we need, honesty, and I feel pretty good about our chances.
Thanks for your time, Coach.
If your job at a healthcare facility includes disinfecting against viruses, you know prevention is the best medicine, and maintaining healthy spaces starts with a healthy cleaning routine. Grainger's world-class supply chain helps ensure you have the quality products you need when you need them, from disinfectants and cleaning supplies to personal protective equipment, so you can help deliver a clean bill of health. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.